James ignored his threats and kept walking toward Lon. Lon continuously stepped backward and shouted, "Why are you two standing there doing nothing? Go beat him up." The two subordinates exchanged glances with each other. Thump. Simultaneously, both of them knelt on the floor and begged for mercy. James, this is none of our business. Please spare us." Lon crushed and kicked both of them to the floor. Many people watched as it happened. These onlookers looked like they were watching an interesting play. No one expected the infamous son-in-law of the Callahans of Kensington would be so strong. James walked toward Lon, picked him up, and threw him toward Zion. Crash! Lon's body slammed into the floor, and his nose was broken. He retreated a few steps backward in fear. "You F-ka, I'll kill you." Lon pulled out a switchblade as he tried to get up. Ads by Pub Future. Before he could stand straight, James walked over and kicked his body to the ground again. He raised his foot and stepped on Lon's face, making him unable to move as he said coldly, "Apologize. Apologize my *SS. You are finished, James. I'm telling you, your life is over. I'm not going to let this go easily. You better let me go this instant, kneel and bow to me 3 times. Or else." "Ah!" Lon groaned in pain. James increased the strength of his foot, making Lon's face squish together. The constant friction caused his skin to tear, and burning pain spread from the wounds. "Apologize," James demanded again. Sorry. I was wrong." Lon compromised. It's okay," Zion said hurriedly. He glanced at James and said with gratitude, Thank you. It's fine now." James finally let go of Lon. The sexy women rushed over and supported Lon up from the floor. She asked worriedly, "Are you alright, babe?" Half of Lon's face was peeled and bloody. It was a terrifying sight. He glared at James with his hideous face, full of anger. Meanwhile, James took out his phone and called Scarlett. "Notify the bank that I transferred $3 million from my personal account. Cancel it immediately." Scarlett quickly went to deal with it after receiving the order. Soon, James' money that had been transferred earlier was recovered by the bank. Lon received a message notification from the bank that the transfer had been cancelled. He spat out a mouthful of blood in anger. He pointed at James. "Why you?" James ignored him. "Good. Very good. I'll remember this, James. Just wait." Lon left a vicious threat and miserably walked away with his subordinates, leaving the Dragon Fountain Villa. Quincy, watching from afar, squinted her eyes and said with a light smile, "He isn't complete trash after all. He is quite ruthless with his fists." James got together with the former students of the first class. Zion sat beside him. "How has it been all these years?" James glanced at him and asked subconsciously. "What?" Zion was slightly taken aback. He glanced at James and asked, Are you talking to me?" James was embarrassed and touched his nose. He stood up abruptly and patted Zion's shoulder. "I'm not asking you." It was inappropriate for him to ask these questions with his current identity. He turned around and walked to a sofa in the corner. Then, he took out his phone and continued to play Plants vs. Zombies. Outside Dragon Fountain Villa, Lon sat in a car and took out his phone. "Sete, I got beaten up. I'm in Dragon Fountain Villa. Bring a few dozen decent fighters here. I want revenge." Since he joined the underworld, Lon had never been so humiliated before. He wanted revenge. "Just wait, James. I'll show you. I'll make you watch me FCK your wife. Quincy, UBTCH. I'll make sure you beg for mercy. Later." Lon cursed furiously. Lon was not a good person. He used to be a school bully. Many students had been bullied by him back then. Thus, the majority of the onlookers applauded after seeing him getting beaten up. James was playing Plants vs. Zombies by himself. There were a few who came to greet him. He simply smiled and continued to play his game. "James." A pleasant voice sounded. James raised his head and saw a woman standing in front of him. The woman had black hair, fair skin, and a pure appearance. She seemed to be about 27 or 28 years old. Joan Dunn. James frowned. Do you know me? Joan was slightly taken aback. James smiled and asked, do you need something? Not really. I just came over just because your name is James, Joan replied with a smile and sat opposite James. Ads by Pub Future. Okay. James snorted and did not say anything more. Joan glanced at James. She knew the James in front of her was not the one she knew. They just happened to have the same name. However, she had an inexplicable attraction to him because the name set off some emotions in her heart. James felt slightly uncomfortable being stared at by a beautiful woman and could not concentrate on his game peacefully. He put down his phone and asked indifferently, speak if you have something to say. Joan smiled. It's nothing. I just wanted to sit here for a bit, can't I? Sure, why not? James did not want to bother with her and got up to leave. Hey, wait, yeah. James glanced at her. Never mind. It's nothing. Joan initially wanted to chat with James, but he was not the person she knew, and there was no need to do so. Not far away, Thea and Quincy got together with some former students. Those who could join Quincy's circle were not ordinary and were successful. However, Thea kept thinking about James. James had been sitting alone for a long time. She was worried that James would be dissatisfied because she left him alone after bringing him out. She was relieved to see a beautiful woman approaching James. James would not be bored if a beautiful woman were chatting with him. It made Thea feel better. Otherwise, she would feel bad if James kept sitting alone. James noticed that Joan was in low spirits and sat down again. He had a vague impression of Joan. There were two bullies in Kensington High Lawn and Joan. Joan used to be a school bully dressed in Gothic fashion and had a dozen subordinates following her. She mingled with gangsters, drank, smoked, played poker, and did rebellious things. Her grades were always at the bottom of the class. However, she had a crush on the monitor James. James recalled that Joan wrote him a love letter once, but he rejected it. He thought about the past events and touched his nose. These were all valuable memories. By the way, how have you been these past 2 years? James asked subconsciously after his memories were triggered seeing his classmate. Me. Joan was stunned momentarily. Then, she replied, back then, I wrote a love letter to our class monitor, James, but got rejected. He said I'd have to surpass his academic performance if I wanted to pursue him. However, I only scored a little over 100 points in the National College entrance examination. Joan was puzzled as to why she said this much to James. These things have been in her heart for a long time, and she wanted to complain to someone. What happened after? James asked with a light smile. I don't know. He disappeared after that, and I learned something had happened to his family. I repeated the year and took his words seriously. I studied hard and successfully got into the University of Seoul. James was slightly surprised. He did not expect the school bully, that used to dress in Gothic fashion, to study hard and get admitted to the best university in Seoul. Good job. James praised Joan, who had a pure appearance. Thank you. Joan smiled. The two chatted for a while. Suddenly, someone walked to Thea and said jokingly, Thea, your husband is getting seduced. That woman's name is Joan. She used to be a school bully and was good at flirting with men. Seeing that your husband was strong, she is trying to seduce him now. You should be careful. Thea chuckled and said, it's a class reunion. They're just chatting with each other. It's fine. Thea trusted James. You're so generous, Thea. Thea, tell us about your useless husband. You're so beautiful, and the Callahans are considered a big household. So why did you recruit a live-in son-in-law? The group of classmates began to gossip. Speaking of James, Thea finally smiled brightly. She corrected them. My husband isn't useless. He just likes to keep a low profile. He would have been famous long ago if he wanted, but he isn't into these superficial things. Thea was telling them the truth. However, her former classmate did not believe her. There were countless rumors of the kind of person James was. Ads by Pub Future. The group chatted together, and it was soon time to eat. There were more than 100 people with two classes combined. With the addition of a few family members, about 150 people gathered in the hall. Everyone was getting ready for dinner. Around this time, Kian appeared and began to perform. According to the agreement, he had to sing 20 songs. That would be $100,000 per song. With Kian's performance, the atmosphere was extremely lively. Kian walked off the stage and came to the tables while performing to give high fives and interact with the crowd as if it was his personal concert. Soon, Kian came to Zion's table. Zion was excited by the scene. He hurriedly put down his bowl and utensils. Then he stood up and wanted to high-five Kian. He had never been to events like this before and was overly excited. He did not place his bowl properly and accidentally knocked over the soup, which splashed on Kian. The singing abruptly stopped at that moment. Kian's handsome face darkened. He was a neat freak who hated dirt. Plus, he despised poor fans. He glared at Zion, now that his clothes were oily and dirty. I'm sorry. Zion panicked and kept apologizing. Sorry isn't going to solve anything. Do you know how much my clothes cost? Italian fashion designers made these. They are unique and cost $3 million, Kian said coldly. Ah, $3 million. Zion was dumbfounded. This scene caught everyone's attention. Quincy noticed it and immediately walked over. Mr. Campbell, is something the matter? Asked Quincy. Look for yourself. Kian pointed at his clothes. I'll apologize on his behalf, Mr. Campbell. There are plenty of people here, and it's inevitable for accidents to happen. My clothes cost $3 million, Quincy. My performance is only $2 million. Are you asking me to make a loss? Kian looked dissatisfied. He was short on money. Recently the clothes were oily and were no longer wearable. It was impossible for him to wear them again. What do you say we do? Asked Quincy. Quote. Kian opened his mouth. Before he could say anything else, he spotted James approaching him. Seeing James, he reacted as if he had seen a ghost. He was flustered, and his attitude immediately changed. See, Chairman, why are you here? Just sing if you're here to sing. Don't cause trouble, James said as he glanced at Kian and then towards Zion. All right. He did not dare to say no. Many people's eyes fixated on James. Quincy also glanced at him with a frown. Chairman. What chairman? Thought Quincy. The invincible Kian was frightened by James' words. He did not dare to say another word and obediently continued his performance. James patted Zion's shoulder and said with a smile, It's all right. Don't worry. Just enjoy the food and drinks. Thank you. Zion was grateful once again to James. It's not a big deal. James waved his hand. Quincy glanced at James and touched her chin puzzledly. This guy seems a little more complicated than I imagined, thought Quincy. She had always thought of James as useless. James showcased his terrifying strength, brought down Key's bodyguards, and even beat up Lon and his subordinates until they left the party. Now even a celebrity like Kian was showing him so much respect. He even addressed James as chairman. James. Yeah. James glanced at Quincy. You should come to join my table, Quincy said with a smile. It's fine. James waved his hand. He turned around and returned to his seat. Ads by Pub Future. He was sitting with strangers and those that were not as well off. Quincy also returned to her seat. When Quincy was back at her table, Thea had just returned from the washroom and was unaware of what had happened. Quincy leaned over and asked, Thea, what's your husband's background? Huh. Thea was slightly taken aback by the question. Background. She was unsure of Quincy's intentions and looked at her, slightly confused. What did he do in the past? Asked Quincy. My husband used to be a soldier. He came back from the southern plains and used to be under the Black Dragon Army, Thea said proudly as she mentioned James. He is now working in the transgenerational group. Although he is just an account executive, I heard their recruitment requirements were high. Quincy also knew that James worked as an account executive in transgenerational group. However, for some reason, she felt that James was not as simple as he looked. She glanced at James, who was eating in the distance but pressed down the thought for the time being. The dinner continued as Kian performed. His 20-song performance was finished before the dinner was officially over. Thea had also finished eating. Seeing that Kian had finished his performance, she walked over to him. Looking at his handsome face, she muttered, Kian, can I take a photo with you? Seeing that it was a beautiful woman with an excellent figure, Kian scanned Thea from head to toe. Thea was prettier than the female celebrities in the entertainment industry. He used to be popular throughout the country, and plenty of female stars that had just debuted sought him out for popularity. He had played with countless women to the point that he was kind of sick of them. However, his eyes lit up when he saw Thea. He nodded with a smile. Sure, there are too many people here, and it's really noisy. Let's head outside. Oh, okay. Thea was flustered and nodded immediately. The two walked outside of the hall. Many others who finished eating also followed, wanting to seize the opportunity to take a picture with Kian so they could brag about it after the party. Outside, Kian and Thea stood together. Thea took out her phone and turned on the camera. Kian deliberately got close to her and wrapped his arms around her slender waist. As soon as his hands touched Thea's body, she tensed up and quickly distanced herself from him. Kian said in dissatisfaction, It's an honor for you that I'm taking a picture with you. What's wrong with a more intimate picture? He wanted to wrap his arms around Thea again. Forget it. I don't want to take it anymore. Thea left hurriedly. She never expected Kian to be. I don't need it, thought Thea. Kian's face darkened. He lowered himself to take a picture with his fan. It was an honor for them. Countless fans wanted to sleep with a big star like him. Female fans were proud to have slept with him. Ungrateful, Kian snorted. After Thea left, other fangirls immediately surrounded him to take a photo. Kian would wrap his arms around the waists and shoulders of the prettier ones. Meanwhile would just stand beside those that had average appearances. After taking photos, Kian left and went back to his room on the second floor to rest. His manager, Helen, was resting in the room. Helen was in her 30s but had a well-maintained appearance, looking almost like an 18 or 19 years old with pale and tender skin. She wore a sexy dress and was lying in bed seductively. Helen, guess who I saw? Kian approached and exclaimed excitedly. You saw that fan again? Helen said, unconcerned. No, not her. I saw transgenerational groups behind the scenes chairman. What? Helen abruptly got up from the bed and asked in disbelief, really? Did you really see the transgenerational group's real boss? Yeah. That was absolutely him, Kian said excitedly. Ads by Pub Future. He was blacklisted because he offended the real chairman of the transgenerational group. He even dreamed of seeing the chairman so that he could apologize for his past behavior. The heavens were still looking after him. Helen, I plan to stay one more night here. I want to see the chairman and apologize. As long as he forgives me, I can surely make a comeback and return to my former glory. Kian saw the hope of returning to the spotlight. All right, you must apologize properly, Kian. When you see the chairman, you have to show a good attitude. Agree with whatever he says, and don't refute him. Even if the chairman asks you to kneel, you must kneel, all right. Helen said seriously. I understand, but Helen, I'm a celebrity. How can I kneel before so many people? Could we go see the chairman a bit later? Kian was a big star, and he refused to embarrass himself publicly. That'll work too. Helen nodded. By the way, there's a fan that caught my attention. Help me bring her over here. Kian thought of Thea. Thea was gorgeous, and he wanted to bring her over to enjoy the night together. Sure, which one? I'll figure it out. On the second floor of the villa, balcony. The former students of both classes decided to go to the hot spring after dinner. The balcony of the second floor just happened to be able to see the hot spring. Kian pointed to a woman in a red bikini. That's her, Helen. Look at her perfect figure. Kian was fascinated by Thea's figure. Seeing Thea, Helen nodded and said, "All right, I'll find a way to bring her up. Let's go back in first." The two returned to the room together. Kian was not the only one that was mesmerized by Thea. All the people in the hot spring were in awe of her. Thea was so attractive in a bikini. The more introverted people could not even bring themselves to look at her. Just one glance made them blush. James was also mesmerized. He had never seen such a sexy side of Thea, even after having married her for so long. Although all the women were in bikinis, James was displeased when he saw plenty of males' gazes fixated on her. This was his wife, and she belonged to him. Only he could see her like this. He quickly walked over and covered Thea's body with a bath towel. "Darling, why did you come out wearing this?" James said dissatisfiedly. Thea rolled her eyes. "Everyone is dressed like this." The other men who saw James covering Thea's delicate body with a bath towel all secretly scolded him in their hearts. Soon, Quincy, who was wearing a white bikini, also showed up. Quincy was wearing a very exposing thong, and her bikini seemed a size smaller, exposing her cleavage even more. "James, you are too conservative. What age are we in? Everyone dresses like this at a beach. I don't care what others do. I don't want my wife to be dressed like this and for other men to see her." He pulled Thea and walked away while speaking. "Darling, we're not going to soak in the hot spring." "Hey, James." Thea tried to persuade him. However, James ignored her and simply pulled her back to their room. James forcibly dragged Thea back to their room. Inside a room on the second floor. "What are you doing? Why are you spoiling the fun, James?" Thea was displeased. "Wait a moment, darling." James quickly went out. He went to a supermarket on the mountain and bought a one-piece swimsuit. He quickly returned to the room and handed the swimsuit to Thea. "Wear this one," said James. Thea picked it up and took a look at it. She found the situation funny. "Is this necessary, James?" "Yes, change into it quickly." "All right, you go outside first." Thea got up and pushed James out of the room. After shoving James outside, she looked at the one-piece swimsuit in her hands and smiled. In her heart, she felt happy. She never expected James to be so protective of her. However, she liked it. She quickly walked out with the swimsuit James had bought for her. Ads by Pub Future. James glanced at the swimsuit Thea was wearing. Although her slender legs, fair neck, and arms were still exposed, it was much better than before. James said with satisfaction, "Yeep, look better. You can go now." Thea glanced at him and asked, "Are you not coming?" James touched his nose and said, "I don't know any of them, so I'll just stay here and play with my phone." "All right." Thea did not want to force him either. She wanted to have a good time since she finally had the chance to come out. Thea went back to the hot spring. James returned to his room. Lying in bed, he took out his phone and played his solo game, Plants vs. Zombies. Kian's manager, Helen, had begun to scheme a plan after she learned that Kian was interested in Thea. In the past, whether it was a corporate executive or a pure college student, Helen had always been able to get it done as long as she talked to them. Helen changed into her swimsuit and went to the hot spring. Sitting in the water, she glanced at the women and finally spotted Thea chatting with other people. She walked over and tapped Thea lightly. Thea glanced at her in confusion. "Let's talk over there." Helen smiled and gestured to a location. Thea followed Helen to an area with no one else. Helen soaked in the hot spring water, and only her head was exposed. She glanced at Thea, who was sexy and charismatic. She smiled and said, "Do you know who I am?" Thea shook her head. She had no idea of the woman's identity. I'm Kian's manager, Helen. Helen introduced herself. Oh, Thea immediately registered her identity. What about you? Asked Helen. I'm Thea, replied Thea. You're Thea. Helen was slightly surprised. She had heard of Thea before since she was working in the entertainment industry. She was rated as a once-in-a-decade beauty and also the #1 beauty of Kensington. However, Thea was not from the entertainment industry. Thus, she never paid much attention to her. Nice to meet you, Thea. After being stunned for a moment, Helen smiled and said, you could definitely enter the entertainment industry with your looks and make a name for yourself. It won't be a problem for you to gain popularity all over the country. Helen began to flatter her. This was how she used to fool other women. It worked every single time. After a series of flattery, Helen finally went to the main point. You should know that Kian is one of the top celebrities in the entertainment industry right now. You spend the night with Kian, and he will take care of you in the future. You can easily debut, and becoming famous would be a matter of time. No, thank you. Thea smiled and rejected the offer. She never thought of entering the entertainment industry, nor had she thought about betraying her body to enter the entertainment industry. Thea turned around and wanted to leave. Helen immediately ranted, Thea, don't be ungrateful. Do you know who I am? I'm the best manager in Seoul. I have unimaginable influence. Believe it or not, a video of you and Kian in bed will spread all over the country tomorrow morning. Helen began to threaten. Thea turned around with a frown and asked, what do you want? Helen continued to threaten, don't you know there is a technology called deepfake? I can easily use a video of Kian making out with someone else and use technology to put your face in it. Can you imagine what big news that would be? Thea's body trembled with anger. Helen looked proud. This was her tactic. Threats and temptation. Even a conservative woman would become a SL*T. Listen to me obediently. Sleep with Kian for one night, and nothing will happen. Or else, you will bear the consequences. By the way, Kian's room number is 203. Helen got up and left. She had used this trick to trick many women. No one dared not to go in the end. She was confident that Thea would show up. Otherwise, Thea would be ruined if she did not go tonight. After all, Kian was a big star. All women wanted to sleep with him and were even honored to have slept with him. Ads by Pub Future. Thea's face darkened. What should I do? Thea was anxious. The woman named Helen seemed to mean what she said if she did not show up. Although she was not in the entertainment industry, Thea knew that it was a very chaotic place. Every once in a while, there would be scandals about celebrities. However, she knew that her innocence would be tainted if she went. Immediately, she was no longer in the mood to stay in the hot spring. She got up and returned to the accommodation. Her room was also on the second floor. She passed by room 203 and wanted to knock on the door. However, she did not want to compromise so easily. She remembered James' words, telling her to discuss everything with him no matter what. Thea returned to her room. James was playing his game in bed but ended up falling asleep. The door opened, and Thea walked inside the room. He woke up and got out of bed. Noticing something strange with Thea's expression, he immediately asked, "What's wrong, darling? Did you get bullied? Who did it? Tell me, and I'll go avenge you." Honey. Thea felt aggrieved and frowned with tears in her eyes. James promptly embraced her and comforted her. "What's the matter? You can tell me. Just now, Kian's manager came to me." Thea explained the situation to him. "What?" James was furious. "Kian must have a death wish to mess with my wife." Thea grabbed onto James in time. "Honey, don't act recklessly. He's a big star and a public figure. There will be a lot of trouble if you really hit him. Countless fans will come at you for doing it." James waved his hand and said with a smile, "Don't worry, darling. I won't hit him. I'm going to reason with him. You stay in the room." James finished speaking and turned to leave. Thea had no choice but to wait in the room for his good news. James went to room 203 and knocked on the door. In the room, Kian heard the knock and was overjoyed. "Helen, you sure are capable. I can always count on her." "Thea showed up at my door so soon," said Kian. "You should relax tonight, Kian. You've lost a bit of weight during this period." "All right. Thanks, Helen." Kian smiled and got up to open the door. He opened the door and was about to take Thea into his arms but was immediately dumbfounded when he saw the person standing outside his room. Kian expected it to be Thea. Instead, James was outside his door. "See, Chairman, why are you here?" Kian went blank for a moment but quickly recollected himself and invited James into the room. James walked inside calmly. Kian shouted, "Helen, hurry up and make some coffee. The chairman is here." When Helen heard the shouting, she immediately got up and looked at the door. When she saw James, her expression quickly changed. This was the real chairman behind the transgenerational group. The real owner with a net worth of trillions of dollars. She did not dare to be slow in serving him. "Chairman, hurry and sit." With that said, she hurried off to make coffee. Kian stood aside with a smile on his handsome face. "Chairman, I was at fault for the matter last time. I shouldn't have tried to use the transgenerational group for hype. Please give me another chance." James waved his hand. "I don't care much about what happened last time. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for your forgiveness." Kian was overjoyed. Helen walked over with her coffee and was relieved when she heard that James had let the previous incident go. She handed the coffee over with both hands. "Chairman, please have some coffee." James pointed to the table beside him. Helen placed the coffee on the table. Kian gave Helen a look. He understood men and thought that James did not come here for him. He was definitely here for Helen. Although Helen was a manager over 30 years old, she still had an attractive and sexy appearance. "Chairman, I'll make my leave first." Kian turned around to leave. Helen understood instantly and walked over to James while shaking her hips. Just when she was about to sit on top of James, he lifted his foot and kicked her away. Helen fell to the floor with a miserable cry. Kian was dumbfounded. Isn't he here for Helen? Perhaps he is into this kind of kink and likes to abuse others. Thinking of this, Kian smiled and took another step toward the door. "Did I say to let you go?" said James. "Huh." Kian froze. He turned around and looked at James. Then, he said, "Chairman, I won't stay to disturb you and Helen. Don't worry, I won't say a word about this. From now on, Helen is your woman." "Ha." James laughed. "Turns out he thinks I'm here for Helen," thought James. Helen got up from the floor, bit her lips, and said shyly, "From now on, I'm your woman, Chairman." James frowned. "Nonsense. I came here not for Helen. I'm here to cause trouble." Bang! James slammed the table. "What did I do, Chairman?" Kian's heart skipped a beat, and he asked cautiously. "What did you do? You sure are bold, Kian. How dare you have the nerves to try to touch my wife?" James growled. Kian was dumbfounded and unaware of what was happening. Why would he dare touch the chairman's wife? He would not dare to do something like that even if he had 9 lives. Suddenly, a thought flashed in his mind. See, could it be Thea? Yup. James stood up, grabbed Kian by the collar, and lifted him off the floor. "Thea is my wife. You sure have some guts. It's one thing that you are interested in her, but to threaten her, do you have a death wish?" Helen instantly understood the reason James showed up. She immediately knelt on the ground. "Chairman, this isn't Kian's fault. It's my idea. Punish me instead." "You." James casually threw Kian to the ground. As his body skidded against the ground, Kian felt a burning pain but did not dare to let out a sound. James glanced at Helen, who was kneeling on the ground. He raised his foot and kicked her. "Don't think I wouldn't dare to hit you just because you're a woman." Helen was kicked to the ground but did not dare to utter a sound. Kian knelt on the ground and pleaded, Chairman, it's my fault. I was tempted and made a mistake. Please forgive me. James really wanted to kill Kian. However, he promised Thea not to beat up anyone. He took a deep breath and said, Go and personally apologize to Thea. Remember, apologize on your knees. It'll be over if Thea forgives you. Otherwise, you'll be thrown into the sea and fed to the fishes. James left a threat and turned to leave. After he left, Kian and Helen hugged each other and cried bitterly. Helen, I'm finished. My life is finished. Helen was also frightened by James' words. Her body trembled, and she hurriedly said, Quick. Go and apologize. Do your best to get Thea's forgiveness. Otherwise, we're both dead. Helen was aware of the influence those in power had since she was in the entertainment industry. It was easy to make two people disappear from this earth. Kian was afraid to go. Ads by Pub Future. James returned to his room. As soon as he entered the room, Thea stood up and asked curiously, Honey, how was it? You didn't hurt anyone, right? James said with a smile, Am I a brute? I went to reason with Kian and told him that a public figure should establish a good image. He realized his mistake and will come to apologize to you. Thea sighed in relief. She was afraid that James would beat them up if they got into a conflict. James had already beat up a lot of people during this time. Suddenly, there was a sound of commotion coming from outside. Why is it so noisy? Let's go out and have a look, Thea frowned and said as she pushed James toward the door. As soon as they left the room, they saw a woman in a bikini dashing past them. Thea pulled her and asked, Louisa, what's the matter? I'm looking for a first aid kit. Something happened to Quincy, said Louisa. What? Thea's expression changed, and she quickly pulled James downstairs. The first floor of the accommodation lobby. All the women were in bikinis that came from the hot spring. A beautiful woman in a revealing bikini was lying on the table. She had an outstanding figure and slender legs, but she wore an expression of pain. Get out of the way. The doctor is here. A group of men came over. Many women immediately moved out of the way. These men were from the first class. The person in front was a man in his 30s. He was dressed in shorts, shirtless, and his 8-pack abs were revealing. Wow, who is this? He has such a great physique. I love it. I'm in love with his figure. Many women could not help but squeal upon seeing him. The man from the first class looked very proud, especially those following behind him. One raised his head and said boastfully, This is Quentin Goth from the first class. He is a disciple of the famous Dr. Drive. Michael. Another followed up. Don't you guys know Drive? Michael. He was ranked in the top 3 during Dr. in Kensington's medical conference last year. He lost to Dr. Fallon and is only second to him. Those from the first class were immediately excited. During this class reunion, most of the people from the first class were not doing well, and none were rich. They were incomparable to the second class. Now that they knew Quentin's identity, they immediately felt proud. Quentin walked over to the table and glanced at the sexy and charming Quincy lying on the table. Is this going to be fine? We should take her to the hospital as soon as possible, or else it might be too late. How are you doing to send her to the hospital? It'll take more than 2 hours to get to the hospital in the city from here. She'll die before reaching there. Many people expressed their opinions. Since Drive, Michael's disciple is here, it should be fine. Quentin waved his hand and signaled everyone to be quiet. After the crowd quieted down, he said, Don't worry. It's just a bite from a venomous snake. It's very simple to treat. You can count on me. Everyone was reassured by Quentin's words. James came over and happened to see the scene. Thea pulled his hand and pleaded, Honey, hurry and save her. James waved his hand and said, Don't they already have a famous doctor's disciple? Don't panic. We'll see how it goes first before we do anything. Quentin glanced at Quincy lying on the table. A venomous snake bit her on the thigh. Her skin was very fair, and her blood vessels could be seen vaguely through her pale skin. At this moment, her thigh was already red and swollen. The location of the bite was black, and the venom was spreading continuously. Quentin reached out and lightly pressed her wound. Ah! Quincy cried out in pain. It's all right, Quincy. With me here, you won't die. Your injury is a special case, and I'll need to use special means to force the venom out of your body. Let me take you to my room so I can focus on healing you, Quentin hurriedly said. Quincy felt lightheaded and very drowsy. She could feel the severe pain from where the snake bit her. She knew that it was venomous and that she would die if it was not detoxified immediately. Do you agree, Quincy? I'll take you to my room if you agree. Ads by Pub Future. She heard a voice in her ear. She opened her eyes slightly and saw a handsome face with firm chest muscles. Okay, Quincy replied in a daze. Hearing her reply, Quentin wanted to pick Quincy up from the table. James frowned upon seeing the scene. What are you doing? He opened his mouth and walked over. Although Quincy disliked him and caused him trouble for him a few times, she was Thea's best friend. Additionally, she was the transgenerational group's vice president. How could he just watch Quincy fall into Quentin's hands? Quentin stopped and looked at James, who was approaching. He growled, "Don't you see I'm trying to take her to my room to treat her wound? A venomous snake bit her, and I'll need to use a special treatment method to treat her. This is something my teacher passed on to me, and outsiders aren't allowed to watch." James, what are you doing? Don't cause trouble. Don't you see Quincy's thigh is already red and swollen? The black venom is spreading. Can you take responsibility if you waste time and something goes wrong? Doctor, Goth, take Quincy to treat her wound. Many people spoke up. Quentin glanced at James and said indifferently, "Did you hear? Can you take responsibility if something goes wrong?" With that said, he was about to carry Quincy away. He was excited that a stunning beauty would be in his arms tonight. "Don't touch her," James shouted. Quentin was dissatisfied and immediately stopped his actions. "Fine. I won't interfere with this matter. You can wait to collect her corpse later," said Quentin. After he finished speaking, he stood aside and no longer interfered. Quentin let out a pained cry. The students of the second class stood out and criticized him. "What are you doing, James? Get out of here if you have nothing to do here. Don't delay drive." Goth from saving her. Seeing so many people helping him, Quentin had a smugness on his face. "Brat, I must remind you that the venom in her body is lethal. The worst outcome is death, and even if she manages to survive, she'll suffer brain damage if the venom reaches her brain," said Quentin. Quentin began to intimidate James. "You don't have to tell me about it, and you won't need to do anything either. It's just a little bit of venom. It's not a big deal to me." "Ha!" Quentin laughed. "A little bit of venom. All right. I want to see how you will detoxify and save Quincy." Quentin shook his head and sighed. "It's a shame that such a beautiful woman will be gone." Hearing this, those from the second class were anxious.